carry on. But Oscar, the other thing, when we're talking about agenda setting, is we also have media houses and journalists, especially when it comes to politics, who are partisan. Yeah. So how do we set agenda when stories sometimes are written to favor the side that maybe the journalist or the editor or the media house is partisan to? Could that be an area where we're failing?
Yeah, that one is it's a really difficult one. The idea of sometimes it's real, sometimes it's imagined. In this country, people are very keen on the byline, talking about print media. And sometimes readers will conclude the drift of the story just depending on the byline. Oscar Obonyo is writing about so-and-so. This is the way it's likely to go.
This way.
Michael Gitonga, this is the way it's likely to go. And sometimes the editors must do something to ensure that there is believability in the stories that we do. I personally would wish to encourage journalists and editors to stop getting embedded to political parties. There are some writers, some journalists that clearly their business is to report on NASA events. If anything about NASA, it is them. If it's about Jubilee, it is them.
Although I'll come back to you, but there would be nothing wrong with specializing, I guess. It's only that now when it's partisan or when it's skewed to give a certain story or a certain narrative without necessarily sticking to the truth. But I'll come to that. Let me take a call from Ezekiel calling from Ukunda. Good morning, Ezekiel, to your comment or your question.
Yes, good morning, Tonga.
Good morning.
I wanted to contribute on the agenda setting by the media.
Go right. Yes, go right ahead.
Yes, I am really disappointed by the action of the agenda setting. Then after all Kenyatta and Raila Odinga have put their self-hard, forge ahead and unite the country. The next day I went to the newspaper stand, also on the NT. Their headline is that Raila will not be attending the NASA summit. Then after 1 hour, I see Raila attending. So the media must also come up and now set the agenda. They must have an intention of also uniting the country and putting the agenda of Kenyans first. Like unemployment issue. The media is not raising this. Unity issue now that the country is united. The media is not actually going into this. What we see in the media is about 2022 politics. And I think now it's time now the media to join hands. Uniting this country, putting our agenda right, like the employment issue, security issue, country issue. I am looking forward where each and every week the media will be telling us what is happening in County A, County B, and County C. I think from that the country will be moving in the right direction.
Thank you very much.
Every time it's about politics of 22, the longer we are getting it wrong. I think the media must now stand it up, and every Kenyan will support the media. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, Ezekiel. And but coming back to what we had mentioned earlier, that sometimes we are filled with just politics and what's happening, playing catch-up. This happened, there's this press conference being issued by this political party, whereas unemployment is still an issue. We have issues with rising cost of living. We have issues with corruption. And I see we're running out of time. Julie, how do we wrap this up and how do we ensure that we are keeping our government in check as we should?
I think, like the caller said, we switch our gaze and our perception from political leadership and 2022 politics and look at what are they doing between now and then. even break it down to the counties, from the national level to the county governments. How much money do they have? How are they spending it? How have they allocated it? Keep them in check according to what they say they are going to do, their manifestos, their plans, their budgets. Every single day, bring up a new issue. Bring up health, bring up education, bring up innovation, bring up agriculture, bring up unemployment, as you're saying. Go behind the headlines and break things down and show people the figures, show people how far they have gone according to how far they said they were going to go, and just keep their feet to the fire. Let's distance ourselves and disconnect ourselves from the drama, the political theater, because as we know, that gets us absolutely nowhere. We just follow them till the end of the story, and then they begin a new story and we start a new chapter. If I had a magic wand, that's the kind of thing I would do. I'd switch the focus from the leadership and the politics of life. Because like I said, politics affects every single aspect of our lives. And if Kenyans could only think with their pockets, because that's where we hurt the most, I think we would get much further in holding these people to account, because quite honestly, they waste our money. We watch them wasting it. And when the next election cycle comes, we vote in the same people.
Absolutely. Oscar, your wrapping thoughts on how we set the agenda and what we need to do.
I want to pick up from what Ezekiel said. He said he read the papers. The papers said that Raila would not attend the NASA summit.
Right.
But then the following day, he was there. This is the problem we have with politics. Is also a science, but it becomes difficult when you're dealing with human beings. Perhaps the guy did not intend to be there. Perhaps that's the feelers that he sent out. But then you read the paper, he makes an assessment from what is happening, and he changes his mind, and he attends. Then what is the interpretation out there that the media is misleading? So as Julie says, it's not safe enough to get deep into it because the situations keep changing. But even as we try to set the agenda for the media, I think the editors' hands are also tied. There is the aspect of sales. What is happening, deforestation in Kitui is a big story. We can go big on that.
And it ties into even matters of environment.
Yes, matters of environment.
Global warming, the fact that we have floods, flash floods, and rains are no longer predictable. So it's a huge...
It's a huge story. But I'm just wondering, if you splash that story, I don't know what the returns would be in terms of sales.
Yes, and that's true.
Those are the other considerations, balance, again. Yes.
I think maybe just tie everything back to how is it going to affect you, your family, and how your ability to take care of your family. If logging in Kitui is going to cause a situation where we can't get enough rain, and then we go into a drought scenario, then we're importing maize from Mexico or from Uganda or from wherever, this in the end comes right back to the consumer.
But honestly speaking, Julie, if you saw the headline, logging will affect you 10 years down the road, no food supply, and you saw Raila will not attend the summit meeting, which one would you buy? 10 years down the road.
No, but logging affects us actually. You know, we had a drought last year, Mike. We actually did have a serious drought, which actually caused water shortages early this year and the end of last year. These things are actually happening now. We have to find a way to make these relevant to people. Maybe sexify the headline and put Raila somewhere. Raila says logging in Kitui is going to...
Then you'll be accused of misleading. But anyway, I get your point. But we'll have to wind up because of time. Thank you very much, Julie Masiga and Oscar Obonyo, for joining us this morning on the newsroom. And we're going to take a short break right here on Morning Express. But today is Wednesday, so we've got your health. Dr. Mercy Korir has got, health news. But also, if you had a patient in hospital and there was malpractice, or you felt that a doctor did not treat you right, what recourse do you have? What do you do? What happens? All of us, I'm sure, will remember very, very clearly what happened in Kenyatta Hospital not too long ago. But in a case like that, and in other cases possibly where some have felt that the medical practitioners have not treated you right, what do you do? That's all coming up right here on Your Health. So do stay with us right here on Morning Express.
This is KTN News.